There's still a great deal I wish to achieve, and I'm confident with Nedbank I can reach my goals.
Partnering for growth for a greater South Africa. Make things happen. Nedbank.
This is Expresso, your feel-good breakfast show on SABC3. Now, it's one thing to have a job, but it's a different story being part of an organization that's fit to win. The good news, of course, Unilever has been named South Africa's 2014 top employer. And we look at this and we know that the Top Employers Institute has identified this and has really made sure that intensive research goes into this. And it's great to see that there's companies and organizations that's out there to really make sure that we advance our staff. We're very today that we have Antoinette Irvine, Vice President of Human Resources, here to say what this award means as an inspiration to a company in South Africa, not just to win, but to attract, produce, and also to retain. Antoinette, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's great having you in this chair. I look at this and I see a certified top employer. What a huge award for Unilever. What does it mean for you? What's your proudest moments about this recognition?
So we've been working for a number of years actually to get to this level. We've been #1 FMCG, because we're an FMCG company, but never #1 overall in the country. And to honestly be there on the night and to actually hear that we've come #1 overall, it's a really proud moment. And you can imagine for our employees, internally as well, what an acknowledgement and recognition for Unilever. So we are over the moon.
Now I see the picture there with everyone in it. You're also in there. You know, what challenges is there keeping this going? You know, making sure that you stay the best in South Africa?
So it's a good question. It's hard. Most employers will know that actually in today's day and age in South Africa, talent is hot. Yeah. And keeping great people is hard. And so you do have to be much, much more progressive with what you do. One of the things I think that is key for us is we have internal employee surveys. So we don't only decide, as a board of directors or a leadership team on what are the changes or practices we want to put in place, but we run surveys to actually hear what our employees have to say. And it's a combination of both of those things. And in addition, especially not only here in South Africa but globally, companies are not looking only at primary benefits. They're looking at other things, like agile, the environment you create, vitality. So you really got to be out there in terms of your practices, and we've been quite focused on looking at where are those opportunities for us.
Now I can imagine that other employers are now looking at you. What message do you want to send out internally and externally? You are the certified top employer.
Well, it's, I think it's really important that people don't take their HR practices for granted. And if you look at the companies that were actually in the top 10, many of them are actively working to maintain that position. So, and you do need to think about women in the workplace, as I said, about occupational health, about the flexibility you can provide. We have fantastic leadership programs. So, you need to take it seriously.
It makes me want to change jobs, yeah? Big up to you guys. I look at you guys and immediately I think of strategy. From a strategic point of view, how does being certified as a top employer touch on your strategy going forward?
So globally, one of our key KPIs when it comes to HR practices is our ranking in markets. So when Paul Palman, who's visits our markets, the first question he'll ask me is, what is your ranking? So that's how important it is.
Right.
And of course, being an employer of choice, attracting great talent to actually be able to go out there and say, we won #1 in South Africa, and we also got some awards for Africa as well, is just great for us. And so, internally, we were celebrating. I mean, the day after we won the award, we had banners, we had everything. So I think, everybody's proud, but at the same time, it gives us a great opportunity to get great talent.
Well, listen, I look at this and I think great talent. We're totally excited and we're very, very proud of Unilever. You just heard it from Antoinette, winning the Top Employer Award, and it's a huge achievement for Unilever. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks so much for having me.
Well, you know where to knock on doors if you want a job and you've got lots of talent, but another lady who doesn't need a job and she's got great talent, she's in the kitchen, Leanne.
Now let's switch to cold with Omo Auto Liquid.
Oh, Ilana, thank you so much. But you know what, when it comes to making tea, I really do make a mean one. But tea has become almost like a hug in a cup and a part of the world's heritage. I don't know if you know this, but when you put in your milk and your sugar, you don't stir the tea. Rather, you fold the tea bag in 3 or 4 times. And when you take the spoon out, you place it on the right side of the saucer. I know, I can't believe I learned all of this stuff. But Ewan was invited to the one and only hotel for afternoon tea. And let's go and find out what he learned.
Interesting fact, historically speaking, only men were allowed in coffee and tea houses in the public up until the late 1700s. But today, tea is the second most consumed beverage around the world. And on average, 30 billion cups of tea are consumed on a daily basis. And as such an integral part of our heritage, it's hardly surprising.
Yes, after water, tea is the world's best loved beverage. South Africa is the only place where rooibos tea is grown